How would you like to move with better balance and speed? In this episode of What the Foot, Dr. Nikki Leach from Greencastle Physical Therapy is back with us, and she will show us exercises to strengthen our foot and ankle to do just that.
The first one we're going to do is we're going to kind of come out and hold. The biggest thing as we do any of these exercises in ankle eversion is we really want to focus on the movement coming and leading at that heel or that rear foot. When we've had any kind of injury or weakness in those areas, our body's incredibly good at compensating. So we want to make sure our toes are not trying to do all of the work. They will and they can. So really focus on the intention behind what we're doing here. See if we can really focus on getting that movement happening at that rear foot or that heel. So with that eversion one, we're going to show with Kelsey here. We are going to take either, at home you can either use a ball or a towel roll, either one. We can get up against a wall of some kind, and we're going to take this, and we're just going to do what we call an isometric. So that's just going to be a hold, trying to use those muscles, just let them fatigue a little bit with the hold. We want to be sure we let that foot point down just a little bit, relaxing those toes. So you can see how our toes are curling up, they're really trying hard to help. We want to focus again, we're really trying to get that rear foot doing all the work. We're going to push out and just hold into that ball. We're going to hold for about 10 seconds. We'll do about 10 rounds of that with a nice strong hold there. So a good setup like this works well and can help with that. The next one we're going to roll towards, so we're actually going to use a band. You can use flat bands or kind of the tubing, whichever one works best for you. How we want to set that up, if you use these kind of bands, you can hook them up to a chair leg, a banister, something like that. These also work because you can use your other feet to help out some. So we are going to go out, we're going to loop it, or actually we can loop around this foot here, so we don't need the wall. And then we're going to use this other foot to just hold the band in place. Same thing with this one, we want to make sure we're leading from that heel. Those toes love to help. So we're trying to lead from the heel, point that foot down just a little bit. If you lift it up, it works the muscles more towards the front. Those often aren't the ones that are as weak. So we're going to pull out. You can slide that band up or down, just depending on what feels good. So modify it according to what feels good for you, where you're able to get good work of those muscles. We can do about 3 sets of 10, really trying to let that heel and that rear foot do most of the moving and the driving here. So the last exercise we want to do, we're going to roll to our side. I'm going to have you face that way. We'll use this foot here. We want to have it hanging out over the edge of the bed or the edge of the couch, a stool. We want to have a little bit of stabilizing force kind of at that lower leg or that ankle. So if you want to slide that foot down a little bit, we want the foot parallel to the floor. So we want to make sure our whole leg's not turning up or all the way down, because we're not going to get as good of work in this area. So parallel to the floor, allow that foot to point down just a little bit, nice and relaxed toes. And then we're going to try and lift that foot up against gravity and slowly lower it down. With any kind of exercise, the lowering or the relaxing phase is just as important as the lifting phase. It works the muscles a little bit differently and is very, very important for good, strong, functional strength. So we'll lift it up and lower it all the way down nice and slow, making sure that heel is doing the driving force here. Again, 3 sets of 10, go to fatigue. We always want to fatigue our muscles for them to get stronger.
Thank you so much for tuning in on today's episode with Dr. Nikki Leach. We hope you learned something today with those exercises that can help with your physical being. On the next episode, we're excited to have Dr. Greg Line-Loftus back with us again, and he will talk to us about topics that will help us dealing with the challenging time that we are facing right now.